question first for Dr. Hyland, David Hyland. What is the biggest barrier in the education system for an emerging space-faring society?
As the faculty, a typical career would be for a young person to get their doctorate and maybe take a postdoc position, and then eventually join the faculty without ever having actually practiced engineering. And that is a severe problem. You have teachers who, some of whom turn out to be applied mathematicians, but not engineers, and they can't really enlighten students as to what it is like to be a practicing engineer. There's a prejudice against geeks, shall we say, and scholars who are interested in learning for its own sake. There have been numerous suggestions or movements to fix the United States educational system by, let's say, various methods of sugarcoating the curriculum. None of these are going to work or have worked, simply because what's lacking is a genuine desire to learn by the students within a culture that devalues intellectual approach.
The biggest barrier is people with resources to support those sort of visionary programs. Because you can have dreamers, whether they're dreamers 1.0, 2.0 or 3.0, but they have to have something to work with. So you can have the dreamers, the people with the vision, but they need resources. And so I think that's probably the biggest single barrier for the sort of programs that I think we're talking about here, in matching the visionaries with the resources to allow them to pursue their vision. Because as an engineer, my instant reaction would be to say math. You know, we need more math, we need people who can do math. But that's with my engineer's hat on. With my ISU kind of broader hat on, what I would say is clarity of thought, or we can say critical thinking. And I think that's something that in our society, not just in our education system, but throughout our societies, is on the way. It is clarity of thought, precision, and critical thinking to be able to look at an argument and decide whether it has a logical basis or not, to refute it or support it on logical grounds.
The emphasis in a lot of educational institutions is to essentially stamp out a standard product. Each individual that comes to the school is the result of a childhood, an upbringing, and he has his own genetic makeup, if you will. Each student that goes to a university or to a school of any kind has a particular blend of experiences that has inspired his imagination, has given him some inclination to get into some particular field. It would be highly desirable if the educational system allowed for accommodating the individual leanings and interests of the student when he comes in, so that these things can be accommodated and promoted. Carl Sagan, I forget exactly what Carl Sagan said, but he commented that we take these bright, eager young minds wanting to learn this stuff, and we take them to an educational institution, we just kind of slap it out of them and teach them what we want them to know, and then give them the degree. And to some extent, educational institutions need to promote this bright spark of wanting to learn something in an individual sort of way that promotes the highest possible achievement in each individual. Oftentimes, I begin to engage in a discussion with someone, and I have to fall back immediately to the scientific method. You observe a phenomenon, you begin to formulate a hypothesis that might explain what that phenomenon is, and then you set about to disprove your hypothesis. So many people in the United States say, well, this observation supports such and such. And I say, okay, well, what is something that would disprove that? That's really the most important thing. So yes, critical thinking along such matters is very important. So I would say we need to come up with an educational system that identifies the individual strengths and weaknesses of a student, promotes those strengths and assists him in those things that he's weak with.